Hello, this is Hot Indonesia, where 3 in 1 is a good thing. I'm Dalton Tanonaka in Jakarta. Here is this week's HI Hot List. Bilateral love. Where is our relationship with the US of A heading, with elections there just around the corner? Open Door is expanding our visa-free list. A good idea. And Joey wins, no, not a Grammy, but the hearts of all who watch. Here to add their 2 rupiah to the week's buzz are Yenny Wahid, director of the Wahid Institute, second daughter of Indonesia's 4th president and spiritual beacon, and Rahayu.
Okay.
Saraswati is a second-year parliament member, former actress, and almost back to her pre-baby measurements.
Oh, amen.
Yes.
All right, all right.
Let's go.
Hot topic number 1, bilateral love. Joko Widodo took his place among Southeast Asian leaders in California at the first US-ASEAN summit. America's president convened the gathering in his final year in office, and the topics were familiar: a common stand in the South China Sea and trade in a key global region. Widodo held sideline meetings with ASEAN counterparts, welcoming Laos to the chairmanship in the first year of the ASEAN Economic Community. Now, you saw the pictures. Barack Obama looked genuinely happy to see his Indonesian counterpart, welcoming him to the event, probably greeting him with his usual apa kabar, and as we all know, learned during his Jakarta childhood. So it's kind of a reunion.
And also that they met just very recently, like a few months ago. Jokowi actually came to the US as well for an official visit.
You were there. You went on that trip.
Yeah, I went on the trip, yeah. So it probably is still fresh in their minds.
Yeah, they looked like they liked each other. You know, every leader was there from Southeast Asia except Myanmar's Thein Sein, who said he was said to be home working on this deal to try to allow Aung San Suu Kyi to become president, that whole constitutional issue. But it was quite a big deal for Southeast Asia to be invited at a first ever kind of summit of this. So it's a good thing for us.
Well, absolutely. I think that, you know, there's only way up. Is that how you say it? There's only up to go. There's only, you know,
upside is huge.
Upside is huge. And obviously, we hope that even though this is, you know, President Obama's final year, it does not mean that, you know, the bilateral communication or dialogue or even trade agreements, etc., that it won't be something that we need to be concerned about for the future.
I mean, arguably, the past 7-8 years under Obama have been a boost for Indonesia's stature and relationship with the U.S. because of Obama's background and childhood here.
And also because of, I suppose, willingness from both sides. And the Indonesian president has always been very keen also to establish a stronger relationship with the U.S. And especially under Jokowi, we have an elevation of status into a strategic partnership now. So we have established all sorts of new initiatives, new ministerial coordinations meetings, regular, you know, annual meetings between ministers and all that. So, you know, I think both sides actually have something to gain from a closer cooperation.
But before, I mean, I want to contrast with pre-Obama. I mean, it wasn't as bad as critics said under George Bush, but it wasn't great. I mean, you remember back then, 8 years before, it was kind of a cold situation, right?
Well, during George Bush, actually, they needed us because the WTC happened. So they needed the support of 9/11. Yeah, the 9/11 happened. So they needed the support of a country with the largest Muslim populations in the world. So I think that was the starting of a relationship, of a better relationship.
So we were kind of afterthought until that happened, when they really need us. Now, Jokowi has another 3 years plus, at least, in his term. But the U.S. elects someone this November, as we mentioned. It would be a very different relationship, again, if a Republican wins, if you've been following U.S. politics, because it might go back to the protectionist.
Well, we all know where it's heading if Trump gets the.
Some people would be happy if Trump gets in.
Who would be happy, Yenny?
Yeah, who would be happy? I think we would be, well, for us, I mean, I think we will be more in a strategic alliances more if Hillary is there.
Right, but it was Trump. You were saying.
Yeah. Well, Trump is not going to get.
No, we were talking about.
She's not even right.
So I'm very adamant about it.
We were talking about Trump. She said Trump. That's why we said it would be very different if Donald Trump won.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
obviously,
other people, like even the Democrats. I mean, Sanders has been against TPP, and it's something that President Jokowi has already signed Indonesia as being
right,
part
this
of
large
TPP.
trade, new
So
trade
that
deal
would
with major
put,
countries.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that would put new complications
Yes,
also.
it's quite interesting what's
So-
going on in the Democratic,
Yeah.
with Hillary and
Yeah, if
Sanders.
she wins, of
They have
course,
very
pretty much business as
different-
usual, I think, because her husband is very popular here. He knows us.
And Hillary came here as Secretary of State.
Right.
So her foreign policy background is a lot more than her opponent, Bernie Sanders.
Yes, absolutely.
And I
yeah.
think she has more of a view of what's happening with Freeport as well as one of their biggest,
And that case is ongoing.
Assets.
Leadership and exports.
Right.
Have you been watching the debates? I mean, people are curious outside of this country to know what we think, because name calling, derogatory, it's like a world wrestling a federation kind of thing.
But somehow all of that is normal is normal politics.
There, not here. I mean,
no,
if that
definitely
happened
not
here,
that would be war.
Well, things, cases like when, during the Trump's campaign, when a Muslim woman got booted out of the campaign.
That was
really,
insane.
It got some traction here.
Yeah.
Things like
and
that.
his statement that he wants to ban Muslims from entering.
Absolutely.
That is
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
yeah.
Why I said
I mean,
if
that is
he-
crazy.
if he
They'd
became
never do
president,
it, but for him to
would
say
be
it, no one's
very
ever
different.
said something crazy like that before.
Well, I think he deliberately said that just to
Get more
push
attention?
the envelope further, just to, just to
You
rile
don't
up
think
the
he was
sentiment.
serious? You don't think he was serious?
How could he do that? I
Yeah.
mean, technically, how is it possible for him to do
I mean,
that?
relating to
anyway?
us, is it a sign of a
mean-
developed democracy when you have debates like that, or is it descending into the depths of wherever?
into the abyss.
I mean,
Some people even made comments that it's actually maybe they should have Trump there as a president as a wake-up call. That
Right.
it will serve as a wake-up call
Maybe.
for America.
Maybe. No, you know what? I understand what she's saying. I do understand what
Maybe
you're
then
saying.
Americans
A
will
lot-
wake up
yeah.
and see what a
See,
joke.
a lot of
this
my
is
friends,
gonna be.
from UVA days, I mean, they're all saying, are we serious here? Is he really the front runner in the
I still go
Republicans?
back
And
to
then-
he'll fall down.
And
He'll
then they're all,
fall
and
as it
they're
gets
all
closer.
questioning now about the education system, about what's happening in the, in a lot
He's
of
not
the
talking
states.
about it. He has no policy platform. It's just insults and broad things, right?
But somehow he's getting
for now.
that.
He's getting the media. That's why.
But
For now, that's
everybody
it.
keeps
But-
saying that, and then it just keeps going on.
Oh,
So,
that- yeah.
okay, America, maybe wake up.
Let's talk in 4 months. If he's still leading, then we're in trouble. I mean, as far as
okay,
America.
hopefully that won't be a conversation.
But one last thing, getting back to our president here, he seems to be getting more comfortable in his overseas summits. Not like his first month, remember?
Yes.
He didn't want to go.
Yes.
He was very
Yes,
nervous.
yes.
I think he's growing into the role. Okay, Hot Indo will continue shortly. More visa-free countries or not? You're watching Hot Indonesia with Yenny, Sarah, and me. Here's hot topic number 2, open door. The administration wants to further expand the number of visa-free countries from 93 to 169. They would include, on this list, Australia, Brazil, and Pakistan. The goal is to grow tourism revenue, but lawmakers, like Sarah, are saying maybe not, are saying slow down. What about security and reciprocity? The security minister said the government would consider Parliament's concerns. Now, the president has said already that he's not afraid of more visa-free visitors. He points to safe environments in Malaysia, relatively safe in Malaysia and Singapore, and they have more than 170 countries on their list. So should we be afraid?
I want to point a couple of points there. Okay, number
Please
one.
do.
Number one is the word reciprocity.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's one thing that we need to stand up for, because if it means yes, we're opening doors, but then nothing is happening the other side, then that's just a.
But you don't do it just because of that. I think
No, not just
reciprocity.
because, but that's one very major point.
If we waited for that, we would have no equal access. We would not go anywhere. We'd not be able to allow to go anywhere because countries.
Can't we just
The-
can't
the
we say the
US
same thing,
opens
that
the doors.
if other people if other countries look at Indonesia and say, oh, it's because of security measures we don't want to give you free access without visa, then why can't we say the same about them coming into our country?
Well, we're not afraid of the Japanese coming here. They're not a
the
security
you
threat.
never
objective is to
know.
boost. The objective is to boost the tourism industry,
Yeah, that's
and
the bottom line.
it has had increased in the past few months, I think, by
19%. Well,
Or
19 in the
19 or
last
16,
year. Yeah,
okay.
since the last.
So
list.
if the objective is that, I think it's going to be mad. But I think I agree with Dalton in a way that we need to extend our hands first to get the visa, to get people to come here, to people to spend, spend their money here, to spend their time here, and then come back to the countries and advertise more about Indonesia.
I'm just being a devil's advocate.
Well, you're a parliament member. You're the ones objecting.
We do have to. And again, there's like 10 factions. You can't put us all together.
Yes, sorry, my dear.
But I do. What I'm saying is, it's our job to be the careful ones. You know, I mean, if it's just about, hey, you know, open our doors to everybody, we'd love to do that. But it's our job to say,
okay, but
how can we be careful and make sure that, for example,
I'll be the devil's advocate to the devil's advocate.
Okay, good.
Have we had any terrorists coming in on tourist visas? No, they're homegrown. You know what I mean? We've had cases where they're coming in.
You don't know that. Hello, with everything that's going on with ISIS.
From the past.
Okay, so if that's going to happen, then everything you just said is basically,
no, but
we're the ones who need to prevent that from happening.
Australia, Brazil, Middle East countries, I think they're still being considered. They're not opening the doors to countries with security questions, but the ones that...
Oh, you just mentioned one country that has security questions.
Or drugs, what do you call it? History with drugs.
Drugs.
It's heavy. So,
yes.
So there
Some
are
countries do
limitations.
have
So you
that.
don't just open all doors to anybody.
If it's about an invitation for tourism, we're all for it.
Yeah.
You know, we want to have more tourists coming in.
Because Thailand had 30 million visitors last year. We had not even 10.
I think it's to do with a lot of very different things. It's
we have
also
as
to do
much
with promotion.
attractions. I think
it's
we
also
have
to do with promotion. I mean, Thailand, Malaysia, and all that, they have advertisements everywhere, and people know it as well from films.
We have a budget for that.
From films. We do have a budget for that. Unfortunately, none of the past ministers have made full use of the budget.
This new government, I mean, they made some of the new advertisement that I've seen. You know, when I was traveling overseas. It's quite nice. Yes. It's quite nicely done, and but it's, again, if you put too much barriers of entry for people to come here, then it will put it will dampen their enthusiasm.
Yeah, they'll go elsewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's easier to go to Malaysia or Thailand. Yeah. You know, but free entry is one thing, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. Infrastructure is another. Infrastructure is another thing. Yeah. They can come here, but we don't got hotels and roads and toilets that are clean.
We have hotels.
They're not coming. I mean, Lake Toba, you go to Lake Toba, not many facilities there.
It's going to be one of the, there will be 10 destinations by the government. I sound like a government spokesperson. But anyway.
You should be getting paid for this.
But there are 10 destinations, tourism destinations that the government is going to invest very heavily. They're going to spend like, millions of dollars.
They've said this every year. We're going to someplace besides Bali.
I've spoken to some government officials, and it's already done. It's already
Hey, we'll help promote it on this channel.
And
we want their ads,
including the Lake Toba.
Yeah, Lake Toba is beautiful.
So it's not just going to be like Bali.
I think there's quite a lot of changes now, and with the promotion and the advertisements that are being made now, it's getting a lot better. But again, if we're talking about the visa free, that's just one level and one aspect. We're not saying no completely. We're just saying let's consider all the options and what we need to do to ensure that.
Yeah. Genuine security concerns, I agree. Yeah.
And all that.
But reciprocity to me is not a reason to deny this.
No, but it's a one level.
Yeah. Okay.
And we need to stand up for our country. Why not?
Of course. Okay, more Hot Indo is ahead. Why this 12-year-old made us all winners at the Grammys. You are watching Hot Indonesia from Jakarta. Hot topic number 3, Joey wins. Music's biggest stars were there in Los Angeles, and when Bali's Joey Alexander began playing, many couldn't believe what they were hearing. He was nominated in 2 jazz categories, didn't win a Grammy, but he did win a standing ovation from artists such as Taylor Swift and Bruno Mars. Can you believe that? I mean, when you saw that, they jumped up I'd say he was a winner, and Indonesia was a winner that night.
Absolutely. Everybody started messaging all over WhatsApp and social media. They're all like, who's this kid? For those who didn't know him before, including myself, to be honest, because I didn't know.
No one knew him.
I've heard about him.
My friends were helping him get a visa to go to America, and I think your husband did as well. So there were actually quite a lot of people who knew about this. I just happened to
He lives in
not.
New York now. I
Yes,
understand.
he lives abroad. His parents, I mean, that's an example of parents who truly believe in the talent that their kid has and basically just decided to, you know what, we're going to move, we're going to do everything possible in our power for him to get the best possible future. Not every single parent can do that, and
True.
He is blessed to have parents like that, to have the support of parents, and I think that it's Indonesia now that can be proud of seeing such a prodigy child. You know, in the
So
music
where are you
industry.
sending your
Such
son?
Oh no! Right now, the way he's acting with all that movement,
You're not getting out of the house. Okay.
No. I'm sending him as soon as I can to a boot camp for
man.
future athletes or something.
I'm not your
the kid
mom.
will not.
You're
no,
not my
it's
mom.
Not that. It's not
Okay.
that. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay.
He wants
She's the
to
new Tiger
move.
Mom.
Yeah, the Tiger Mom duo. Okay. You know, Yenny, I predicted.
Well, I will plant in him good values.
Yeah, okay.
Excuse me.
Tough
when we're
mom.
talking about
you know, I
Tiger Mom.
predicted in a previous show that Joey would win at least one. I mean, we all were hoping, but I wonder if you asked him, would he prefer to win a Grammy and not perform on the show, or perform and get the huge exposure? And I mean, I'm sure he wanted both, but almost you want to take that exposure, right?
Yeah.
But no, you want the Grammy.
No, come on, Grammy, you can get in the future.
Both, but for him to be up there
At
with all
12.
these great
Because many other artists-
at 12 and
At 12.
and virtually unknown before that.
Yes.
No one
And
knows
to
the name
have
of the
had
winner.
2 nominations.
No
as
one
well.
knows of the winner of those categories, right?
Nobody cares because they're all
But he stole the
wondering
show.
about him.
He
Yeah.
stole the show.
He did.
I
Yes.
mean, my goodness.
Yes.
I mean, someone
Yes.
like him, so young like that.
Yes.
And to be getting a standing
Go
ovation
Joey.
and representing a country, not American, not American.
Yes, representing Indonesia.
He was. But let me ask you this, just to be a little
although his
sane
name
about
is not,
this.
although his name is not necessarily Indonesian.
Yeah, it was like out of Seinfeld or something. Was it a novelty? Was it a novelty to be such a young nominee? I mean, maybe. I mean, if he was 25, would you think he would have got nominated? I mean, probably, but it didn't hurt that he was such a young guy, because there are a lot of talented jazz artists who never get nominated.
Yeah, but talented young guy. And to be someone that young and to have that kind of talents, I think
But
that's
that-
what's
reminds
rare.
me-
There's no age level, though.
It
in
reminds me of when Taylor Swift came into the music industry and started getting all these awards because she was really young and she wrote her own music. So who knows? Maybe Joey
I'm
Alexander.
just saying. I mean, I don't want to ignore the other people who
No,
have been
we are
working
not
in the jazz.
ignoring them. We are
industry.
not ignoring them. We are acknowledging that it just happens
but
to be
I
we're
think
proud of
also-
an Indonesian 12-year-old
Yeah.
playing at the Grammys.
Also, the fact that he's got virtually no training as well. He's a self-taught boy.
That's right.
So it's almost like
Prodigy.
it's a
It's a
boy
miracle.
wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a miracle. In a
Well, now
way.
we got to build on this. I think with
Indonesian
this,
Mozart.
Well, that's a good comparison. I know other jazz artists, as I was saying, such as Anita Artson plays here, and classical stars such as Ananda Sukarlan. We've got to promote their talent. So this is not just the last time we get a Grammy spotlight.
But I think that by having Joey Alexander there, then people will start noticing musicians from Indonesia
Absolutely.
and all the talents that we have here.
Well, we hope
So this
that
is just
this is not a
opening the door.
one-off. This is not a
I
one-off.
don't think so. He's 12. He's got hopefully we'll pray a long road ahead of him.
And plus, we've
for
never
the-
had a
for
Grammy
the
nominee
music
before.
industry.
So this is the first, and hopefully
Ever.
now they said, well, Indonesia, they'll look at us a
Well,
little.
no, to be honest, there are other Indonesians who are involved in the making of albums that have won many times.
No
in the-
artists,
in the-
no performers.
Yeah,
no
there you
on
go.
stage.
There's a difference.
We've
yes.
got musicians who try to break into American industries,
Yes.
like
Agnes,
Monica,
yeah,
for
right,
example.
as a singer.
But again, never a Grammy nomination. And 2 nominations as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's an accomplishment for him, and that's
My point. Let's build on this, and let's.
yes.
We're happy to promote them on the Indonesia
Oh,
channel.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, it is feedback time, and we like hearing from you, whether it's on your cable system, your computer, or your smartphone. DCR emailed this comment: abolish, boycott, racism, and stereotyping. Well, we hear you, and I've already hit that topic several times. If you have any feedback on what you've heard, or would like to suggest a topic for us to tackle, please email us at hotindo@theindonesiachannel.com, or comment through our Indonesia channel, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Final words, Mbak Yenny.
Well, Joey Alexander's case has proved to the world that Indonesians' kids, Indonesians' youth has huge talents. And not just Joey, but so many kids are out there with their talent, with their talents, creativity, and all that. But there's one thing that I think Indonesian kids have remained, rather humble. Indonesian people in general, we're humble, we're low profile. I think it's time for us to step up our games and just show the world how talented, how creative, how fantastic our talents are.
Yeah, in an interview at CNN, he was very humble. I saw the interview at CNN with Joy. Okay, final word, Sarah.
Well, as a new mom, I still consider myself a new mom because my baby's still 5 months old.
That's
but
new.
It's very disturbing to see online some videos that show how disrespectful and sometimes just quite disturbing some people reactions are to breastfeeding moms that are doing it in public, because it is something that's natural. None of us are here if our mothers or if we didn't receive some kind of nutrition via breast milk, and I think that the world needs to wake up and start being supportive of breastfeeding moms, because nothing can replace breast milk for our babies, for our children, for the future. It will ensure that they have a healthy life, healthier than most others, and that's what we need to fight for, rather than being okay with seeing perhaps certain areas being exposed just because it's sexy, instead of it being a natural process in the human world.
Yeah, and again, it's very healthy, and it's free.
It's healthy and it's free, for goodness sake.
It comes in a better package.
Well, you know what? It's not so free because some of us really have to work at. I'm kidding.
Okay, and the breast pump is expensive. Okay, my final words, and tell me if you guys heard about this. Surfers around the world, including my native Hawaii, know about the fabulous waves in Mentawai in West Sumatra. But beginning in August, nature will no longer be free. Visitors, we are told, will be charged up to 1 million rupiah, $75, for a 15-day permit needed to surf there. Local officials say the area needs to benefit with money going to build support facilities. But how can you justify charging someone for the use of waves? Come on. It will be an administrative nightmare, for one thing. If somebody paddles in from the other side, he doesn't have, how do you know who has a permit? Not to mention, the next step, what? Charging for free air or clean air? It's crazy. You cannot charge for nature. Agreed? That is Hot Indonesia for this week. For Yenny and Sarah, I'm Dalton Tanonaka. See you next time.